Welcome to Lunch and Architecture. I have Jurgen here. Jurgen, tell me about yourself a bit.
Hi there. My name is Jurgen Visser, and I currently am in Singapore. And my key focus has been security operations centers. And definitely in the past, I've been all around the region, building security operations centers in different countries. Meaning there was a deal signed. Someone needs to build an on-prem SOC. I come in, build it up, then sign it off, hire the people, and then I'll walk out. And I've done that in multiple different countries. And that's basically where the foundation of my skill set lies. And happy to be on the podcast today.
We kind of found each other on Telegram, but I'm not sure how exactly. I think you created one of the many groups that are SIEM related. I'm not sure how many you have right now. Maybe you tell me a bit more about how many groups you have on Telegram that you own or run.
Actually, I think at the time I was working at IBM, so I was a little bit. Before that, I was big on ArcSight, and I was very big on the online community of ArcSight. And then I switched to IBM, and then I just felt, hey, why not start a Telegram group? I saw so many groups pop up, so I started one, and then one became another. So there's a bunch of them, and I think one publicly I posted on LinkedIn one time is one about SOAR, because there was no SOAR community. I felt I was really alone. I was doing one of the first implementations in the Asia Pacific region. I'm like, oh, why not start one there? So I think that's probably how you popped up and we started talking. So yeah.
Could be. Yeah. So do you see it's effective, the group on Telegram? Or people just join and don't post anything?
Yeah, there's a give and take there. So sometimes you meet quite interesting people. It allows for dialogue. But there's a lot of accounts that join, they don't do anything. But sometimes there's good conversation. It's a hit or miss. Some people believe it's an equivalent of a product support channel, which I don't believe is an equivalent. It's a user-based channel, right? It's just users using it. And sometimes someone has a problem and someone has that same problem the last week. And that's where the connect mostly happens. But it's a hit or miss. It's not perfect, but I feel community is very important where you talk about cybersecurity and specifically cybersecurity problems in certain products, because that's mostly where some of the challenges lie in the industry. So, yeah.
Let's talk a bit about SOC, because everybody agreed people need to understand what's happening in the company. SIEM was the tool that people used for at least the last 15 years. You have a lot of opinions about it. I would like to hear more.
Okay, yeah. So I've looked at different kind of SIEMs in the past, and I've been going back and forth on this topic, on different topics, but I've written some blogs on it just to underpin one of my strong opinions I have developed over the years. So one of the things is that, if you look at the solution architecture nowadays, there's a little bit of a shift happening. First of all, EDR is getting definitely more stronger in the competition. It's out of the box more stronger, and sometimes you get in discussions. Maybe I should just need an EDR and I don't need SIEM. Well, actually, people forget. SIEM is the delta, collects everything from all solutions. EDR is subservient to that. So it just is a pipe up. So that's one of the dynamics I've seen. The second one is that there is a big shift in the SIEM space between on-prem SIEM and cloud-native SIEM. There is a division now. And I feel now at the moment of recording, we are still in that transition because the major vendors, I'm not going to name them, but the major vendors that are quote-unquote cloud-native in terms of SIEM, they're not that mature yet. They just started out 1 or 2 years ago. And that's because of, it's just a new scene. Now, if I'm a company and I'm cloud native, I want to switch to that. I believe it's a little bit hard decision to be making now. Maybe go on-prem, you get the out-of-the-box stuff, versus, you go to...
Where do you see the immaturity in the cloud-native SIEMs? Is this the way they scale? Is the type of use cases? Because one of the benefits, I think, in the cloud-native SIEMs, we moved our products to SaaS. We use SaaS applications right now. It's much easier to have an API to my cloud-native SIEM versus maybe on-prem. And just I'm thinking aloud about this.
Yeah, so the challenge I see there is, I don't want to name a product, but if you go to a cloud-native SIEM, generally it looks a lot like an EOK stack. An EOK is just a database, and you just dump logs in it, and you can query it, right? So that's a very basic, a standard thing that gives them. But in my opinion, when it becomes a SIEM, you start talking about adding things like network modeling or asset modeling, cross-correlating with your CMDB, cross-correlating with your network hierarchy. And that's generally a SIEM trait that is not there yet, either not mature or not at all there yet. So that's basically one of the the comments I have on that. And yeah, log source onboarding is still a big problem, specifically on APIs. So that's definitely also another challenge of that in that topic, which I've written also extensively about. So yeah.
So how many articles you've written about SIEM, and maybe you can tell me more about the topics later on. I'll link to the articles that people can read it.
Sure. So I think if you put it all together, right? So my style is very pragmatic, simplistic, and I keep hammering certain models constantly home. And one of the big models I believe in is OODA: observe, orient, decide, and act. So this model is basically a life cycle at the top, in my opinion. And under that, you can put all your processes: security incident management, threat hunting process, cyber threat intelligence. These are just processes that are catering to this life cycle. And it helps you a lot giving some form of guidance in a framework. As an architect, I'm thinking I have a small model at the top, and all the small ones that are more in detail are basically catering to that. So that's one of the big topics I keep on hammering home. I'm also a big believer of SIEM, SOAR, and EDR as a triangle, because I really believe the SOAR is the big innovation here in the recent years that has been matured relatively well. And yeah, I really think on that topic, there's a lot to gain still, because there's.
So what about MDR? Is MDR, it's just a term? Because MDR kind of mean EDR, manage, SOAR.
Yeah, so the challenge there is that MDR, when you say managed detection and response service, right? That's what you're referring to. Yeah, it's just EDR with a vendor behind it and an analyst. So it's the similar thing like managed SIEM. So what the nice thing is about the managed EDR is that it's outsourced. You don't have the headache. But the problem is the use cases sometimes are too simplistic. It's just on the endpoint. While if you go on the managed SIEM side, the problem is too complex. There's too many log sources, too complexity, and that paralyzes sometimes good use case building. So MDR is very good to have quick value for money. You deploy it and it's done, and then everybody basically thinks, oh yeah, we have managed MDR. But once you go more advanced, you want to cross-correlate. Managed MDR keeps on, yeah, it's stopping. It's hitting a ceiling. And then where my opinion comes in is get that SOAR in there and get that SIEM in there, integrate it, create a triangle, and try to realize, well, this is, sorry for the jargon, artificial intelligence. So yeah.
I actually wanted to ask you about this. What do you think is a play of AI and machine learning in the SOC world? Because there's a lot of ideas and a lot of companies in the space that say, hey, here's my magic AI, it will help you.
Yeah, so my role up to now was always decoding the jargon, because there's so much jargon, people saying zero trust, cloud-centric this, SASE, there's a lot of these keywords. And I found that in the industry, people keep on repeating keywords and they lose their meaning. And sometimes I'm talking to someone, do you even know what you're saying? Do you even know what the problem you're trying to solve with this technology? So there's an issue there, right? So I tried to clarify in a recent blog article about AI. And AI, in my opinion, is just, okay, you have machine learning, machine understanding, and machine action. How would that translate to a SOC? Because they always talk about point solutions, like, oh, I have this point solution, and then bam, it can do AI, and then some magic term, and then, okay, what does that mean? So what I try to do in a SOC, as a SOC architect, okay, I have a house, which is in my SOC, it's people, process, and technology. How would I realize this idea of AI? How would I translate it? So I just made a model and I just translated, okay, probably for machine learning, I probably need a SIEM, because there's already UBAs out there that can do machine learning algorithm. And then in the middle will be some form of understanding, but understanding mostly is a playbook, a workflow, a decision strategy. That's mostly where you take the analysis and make a decision on it. And then the action part that's basically where you either come up with the action module of a SOAR, and generally that can talk to the EDR, but there's a lot of different other solutions where you can talk directly to close the loop.
Awesome. Thank you. If people want to find you, I'll link, of course, to your profile and to some of the other information about you. And I have a feeling people are going to ask you about Telegram groups and how to find them later on.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Actually, Telegram is easy because you can just search for a SOAR SIEM. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you for having me on, and have a good day.